My name is Dale Brown. I'm the Executive Director of Men's Divorce Recovery. Back in 2016, after 32 years of marriage, my wife left me, and I was pretty devastated from that. I didn't feel like that was the right thing for her to do, and I know it was biblically not the right thing for her to do. But I was crushed, and as I looked around to try to find some resources to help me get through that terrible time, I didn't find a lot. So I just determined then, and really felt God's call, to write a book for divorced men that I wish I'd had. As I say, I wrote the book I wish I'd had, and I hope no one else ever needs. But if you're watching this video, well, then chances are you do need it. You've been divorced and you're working through that hard reality, or you know someone who is going through a divorce, a man who's going through divorce. And so I wrote a resource that I wish I'd had. And for me, that took the form of a devotional. So I wrote this book, Daily Survival Guide for Divorced Men. It is 91 days of devotionals for guys going through divorce. It starts off with a pretty lengthy description of my own story. You can skip that part if you want. And just goes to day one. And has some other things about working through the issues that you have, critical issues. Each day begins with a Bible verse, and then a thought for the day, and then which is usually a quote, and then relevant information that would be helpful to a guy going through divorce. At the back of the book, at the back of each day, a chapter, there's a think about it section that can be used by a guy going through divorce to either help him get through some issues. And then there's a life commitment over here. And this particular one says, I have a choice as to what I do with my pain. Though at this moment, I don't fully understand what this means. I choose to let God transform my pain. I choose not to transmit it. So I just want to encourage you to pick this book up if you're going through divorce. It's pretty cheap therapy. I also want to encourage you, if you're a pastor or you're a men's leader, grab some of these books and have them handy. When a guy's going through divorce, he needs help right away. And this book is an easy way to show a guy going through divorce that you love him, you care for him, and you want to stay connected to him. I guarantee you, I wrote the book I wish I'd had. I put my heart and soul into this thing in order to help guys get through divorce. Along with this book, I also wrote a workbook to go along with this devotional that I wrote. This is called the S Group Workbook for a Survived Group. So when guys are going through divorce, they're hurting, they are sucking fumes, and they need some help. So I wrote a 10-week workbook that could be used individually, ideally be used in a group of men who are going through divorce. And it just covers things like the experience of divorce, getting the help you need, don't waste your pain, the stages of divorce. If you're the main cause of the divorce, helps guys work through their own guilt and shame about that. Expectations of yourself and others as you go through divorce. And then I have a whole chapter on pornography, dating, and sex. And then lastly, we find some hope in the fact that God will restore. So each chapter is, 4 to 5 pages long. It has some, things to think about. It even has a little section, take it outside. I'm a big outside guy and love to do camping and hiking and kayaking, all that kind of stuff. And I believe men are made better if they spend some time outside, and especially if they challenge themselves to take it a little beyond the limit, maybe risk a little bit, maybe even get hurt and bleed a little bit. That is a good thing if you're a man. Anyway, I just want to encourage you to pick this up. If you need help leading a small group for divorced men, I'll be happy to help you. If you have a bunch of guys that just need some outside help to get you going, I'll be happy to Zoom in with you. Whatever it takes to help you get through this time. My heart is for men that are going through divorce to really get the help they need. Most men, when they're going through divorce, are isolated, alone. We're usually blamed because man gets blamed for everything, this culture and this society. But oftentimes a guy, like in my case, I don't feel like I was the cause of this divorce. Totally. No, I had my issues, but I did not choose it, and it was placed upon me without much choice. So when you're in that situation, you really hurt, and guys can take some really drastic action and can kill themselves. They can kill someone else. Just read the paper, see what's going on there when there's a mass murder or something. A lot of heartbreak in men that is not being addressed today. So I encourage you, pick these 2 books up, grab them, and then you'll be glad you did. Daily Survival Guide for Divorced Men, and then the S Group Workbook for Divorced Men, Surviving Divorce. Thank you so much.